This episode of IzzyLand Uncut is brought to you by Anchor. Start your career in podcasting with Anchor. Go to anchor.fm and sign up today. It's quick, easy, and free.
So they outsource and they automate the factories, but they still taught my generation, your generation, to prepare us for something that didn't exist. So it's like how far up your own ass can you get that you would prepare an entire generation for a non-existent future? That is not our fault. That's the fault of the morons and the idiots and the brain-dead numbskulls who make our policies.
Hey you listeners, Izzy Bolden here, the founder of IzzyLand and host of the podcast series IzzyLand Uncut. So some of you may not know, but I'm also a reoccurring guest on another podcast called the Yang Gang Roundtable. As the name suggests, it's a platform for supporters of former presidential candidate Andrew Yang and his Humanity First movement. We all come together and cover the many stories and trends happening in our society and throughout the world. I have actually interacted several times with one other participant named Ariel, who's a content creator like me, is straightforward, no nonsense, extremely knowledgeable, and doesn't hold a damn thing back. Oh, I was bound to get him on my show sooner rather than later. So I called him up, sat him down, hit that record button, and I let him loose. Because this is a conversation full of raw, authentic emotions with barely any interruptions. That's what this podcast is all about. So it's time to jump right into it. Are you ready?
Start the countdown.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What's up, everyone? You are now listening to the fifth podcast episode of the uncut, uncensored, unscripted version of IzzyLand. I'm your host, Izzy Bolden, and today I'm joined by my guest, who I've conversed with multiple times on the Yang Gang Roundtable, which is another podcast created collectively by various visionaries in the Yang Gang base discussing the many issues in our society. We both have nearly similar perspectives of the world, the problems of today and tomorrow, and along with us also being content creators / YouTubers. And his own channel is called Revolutionary Thinking. I introduce to you Ariel. Welcome to IzzyLand, man.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. This should be rather fascinating. It's like we're both content creators with very similar views of the world, and very similar views, I think, on the schooling system that we have. I mean, like, I don't know what was your schooling experience, but mine certainly didn't prepare me for my life.
Go into that. What's the schooling education system like in your area? I mean, for starters, like where are you located? Because I know.
Okay, so I'm located in Los Angeles, specifically a place called West LA. But Los Angeles isn't all that it's cracked up to be. I mean, I know maybe you watch television and you saw like, oh, movie stars and Hollywood and like, I'm going to go there and become famous, but that's all a load of BS.
Hey, is the sky red in your area too?
Yeah, actually. It's not as red as San Francisco, but the last 2 days it was getting pretty red. It was even when I pulled up the thing on my phone, when I pulled up the weather says, you see that it says unhealthy air quality.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. So it's like you go out and you breathe in all this crap, and I mean, like it was.
You gotta wear a mask either way.
Either way.
Just saying. It's like
exactly, whether it's the virus or the smoke, either one. It's like a double whammy. Anyway, yeah. Like the air quality here has always sucked, but now it's just worse. I mean, like
Yeah,
we always
they always have like carbon monoxide in the air. It's like it's always like
something like that. Well, that's because we're like a city that's obsessed with like cars and driving.
yeah,
And
with
I
burning
don't know
fuel.
about you, but don't you think like cities would be a little nicer if we could just like walk to places and we didn't have to like
Yeah,
drive everywhere like the way. Well, actually, I've been to like the downtown part of Chicago once, like and it was actually pretty nice. Like I'm telling you, like the downtown part of a little, but like that place, I'm just telling you that the downtown part of Chicago looks way less shittier than the downtown part of LA because like it has like fountains and stuff and like all that, but like I know like other sides of Chicago like must really suck, but like
it's for the tourists. It's for the
it's
tourists.
just for the tourists.
It's for
Yeah,
the
yeah.
tourists.
It's
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 like
for the tourists. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So it's like I grew up in like the richest parts of LA, like Beverly Hills and Bel
yeah,
Air and like over here right now where I am right now it's called Century City, but didn't matter that much to me because like I'm not one to really like give a shit about like fancy looking, houses or condos and apartments. Like I love like if I was like on a penthouse, like a view, or like I always love like staying in like buildings with like a good view. Like I always like that. But other than that, I mean like the thing about me is that like when I lived in a house up in the suburbs where like literally like you're not near any stores, you're not near like any civilizations. It's just like everything around you is just house after house after house. It's like fucking depressing because there's nothing to do. There's nothing to see. There's nothing to like thing. And it's like I literally lived in a house with like 4 extra empty rooms. And it's like who cares? Because there's nothing there.
it does get boring after a while. It's
Yeah,
like
it did get boring.
like being rich and stuff. Like even though it may seem nice at the beginning, it's like over time it's just like the term bunny. I'm bunny. Money cannot buy you happiness. It's just
Right. But you see, I think it has more to do with freedom because the times that I remember being really happy are the times where I could just happiness is just going and coming as I please. If I don't like the location I'm at or the people that I'm around, I can just leave. Right? But a lot of people don't have the power to just leave.
right.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Because it
yeah.
costs money. Yeah.
Because it costs money, exactly. So that's where you get into this chicken and egg situation. But also, like it surprised me. So I went to school Beverly High, and there's a lot of things that said about Beverly High that like, oh wow, like Beverly Hills, it was mediocre, maybe even a little less than mediocre. And like what amazed me is like, okay, so you're telling me like these dummies didn't teach me about money at all. Like you're telling me after like 12 years of this dumb system, you don't explain like what credit cards are. You don't explain like how businesses get created, like what a loan is, like how to buy a car, how to do any of these things, and you call that a schooling system. That's not a schooling system. That's a load of shit.
Yeah, that's literally the same as over here. Like they don't teach you about what to expect in like the outside world. You're just supposed to like know already by
Yeah,
default.
then what's the point of having them there?
Yeah.
You
What's
know
the
it.
point?
Yeah, it amazes me, and it's like, okay, so you're telling me you're bringing these teachers into this classroom to like teach kids, and some of these teachers, they themselves complain about how they don't like their jobs, how little they're getting paid, and like all this. Okay, so then why the hell did you become a teacher? And like, why are you teaching young people when your own lives are miserable and unhappy and you don't know what you're doing and you can't even like get happiness for yourselves, and yet you're teaching another generation to be just like all of you?
Right.
How's
I mean, you have cultures, and I know, and there are like various various cultures, throughout the world, that their education system, they literally teach you how to get ready for society and stuff and life and whatnot. And I always like reference the French, just like my friend being there, and
Yeah.
she herself mentioned that over, like when it comes to their education system over in the French, like they literally give you a shitload of like homework and like and they literally do it in school, whatever, and that's why they have like shorter hours, but it's like they're just cramming them with all these stuff, and it's usually to just get to prepare for life. So then by the time they reach, they're literally doing college work in high school and lower, and then once they reach
Right.
college and then graduate from them, they're good to go.
But then, like, why would you even need college if like high school could have just given you all that information anyway?
Yeah,
Or like school, you know what I mean? It's just so stupid. It's like, okay, so
it's a
why?
waste of money,
Right, right. It's a waste of taxpayer money, and then it's a waste of the own students' money when they go to college. So it's like, okay, so like for me, for instance, like it's a coincidence because I always wanted to be like a talk show radio host. So at my community college that I went to, it's like I took all of the classes that you're supposed to take to like do that stuff. And then I'm like, okay, so like how do I do this for money? Like, where do I go? Where do I submit a resume? Like, who do I talk to? Like, what happens after this? And then
no direction, right?
they're like, yeah, that's your problem. It's like, okay, then why the hell did I come here?
Yeah.
Like why does it make any sense that you're teaching me, but then like when it comes to making money, you guys are all of a sudden, you people become morons. That makes zero sense at all, because it's like the one thing that they don't teach about in school is how to make an actual living. Like, think about how just incredibly stupid that is, that they don't talk about, like, here's how to negotiate a salary, here's how to like find a boss that's gonna treat you right, and like here's how to like navigate through the working world, here's how to like do an interview and all that stuff. And then and it's like they only reserve that as like a tiny part of the entire curriculum, and then they're so stupid they wonder why young people are struggling.
I wonder. I mean, and funny you say that, because I believe the late comedian George Carlin, he mentioned that in his one bit about um about the state of America, and this was like early 2000s, I believe, and stuff. And he was mentioning about how in the education system, um
Right.
people like
Obedient workers.
yeah, they're yeah, obedient workers, yeah, and they were mentioning like well, we try to like give better education to these kids or whatever, and the youth or whatever, but it hasn't worked. And then they're saying, well, let's let them go through the schooling process, even when they failed the tests and stuff. And it's like he said,
Right.
he literally said like sooner or later it's going to be at the point where you could get to college by just having a fucking pencil. It's like
Right. Right. It's basically
it's not much
happening.
of an
And
exaggeration at this point.
right. And the thing that amazes me is, like, we're preparing young people for a future that doesn't exist, right?
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell is this? Like all the factories have either been like outsourced or automatized, like what is it? Yeah, like
It's
outsourced.
especially more things are more automatized, during these times,
Yeah,
because the pandemic,
automated,
yeah,
automated, right.
yeah, automated, yeah.
Okay, so they outsource and they automate the factories, but they still taught my generation, your generation, to prepare us for something that didn't exist. So
Yeah.
it's like how far up your own ass can you get that you would prepare an entire generation for a non-existent future? That is not our fault. That's the fault of the morons and the idiots and the brain dead numbskulls who make our policies. So it's like I see now this gets us into the freedom dividend, right? Andrew
Yeah.
Yang is UBI. I see that not as even like a handout or charity. I see that as like a refund. I see that as like a refund for all of their stupidity, corruption, and bullshit that they put us through. They owe us that for wasting our time and our energy and our potential on their crap.
I recall, like, I believe I made
Right.
this. I responded to this one post. I think someone was asking about, can you explain me how beneficial UBI is or something that way? And I mentioned, like, hey, you know how when you work a job and you get paid a certain wage to, when you do that hard work or whatever. Yeah, UBI is like that, except your job is just living in this society, and
Well,
here's the thing: we're always contributing in some form or
right.
another, and this is our
Right, exactly.
compensation.
So here's the thing, because and we never even had a choice. I don't remember like signing anything that said like I want to go to school. I want to have my time wasted.
Me neither, man.
And hang on a second. They told me that if I do well in school, I didn't need to worry about getting hired, and I especially didn't need to worry about like having a job and making money if I graduated college. They're like, you graduate college? Huh, are you kidding me? You'll make so much money after that, and you'll have like all these opportunities open to you. You're just gonna have a hard time thinking about like what offer to take and how much money that you're gonna get. But it all comes with a college education. Well, guess what? They lied. They straight up just lied, and we're just supposed to be okay with that. We're just supposed to be like, oh, okay, you lied to us for our entire lives, and you wasted our time on all these school assignments and all this homework and all this projects. But
Yeah.
hey, like that's fine. No,
Just
like,
go flip burgers or go work at Amazon or UPS. It's like, fuck you.
excuse me, shitbag. You don't get to lie. Any other company that can lie to its customers like that, they sue the shit out of them, just straight up. But all of a sudden, when you lie to an entire generation and you bullshit them, you like we don't get anything. After that, we followed the rules that you told us to follow. We did the things that you told us to do. And now that the results you said that we were going to get for following those rules and doing those things,
They gave us false promises.
That is our fault. No, you piece of shit. That's your fault. Listen,
Right.
asshole. It's like if I order something from Amazon and I pay for it and I get like a tracking number and the package never arrived, if they fail to deliver, I get a refund. If I order something and it doesn't come to my house and it's been like a year, it's been 4 years, it's been 10 years, and that package isn't there, I get a refund for that fucking package. You understand me? So what the hell makes any of that different for their failure to deliver on their promises?
Exactly. It's like, and also like and as far as like that, it's like it goes back to like getting paid for our data, because
Right.
like how in this in technology, and we're of course going to get back to like
Right.
the tech rise of technology and all that, but like with getting paid for data, I mean they fish through your personal data or whatever, literally like not really giving you much of a choice. It's like, oh, this page accepts cookies or
Yeah.
whatever, and you just have to just roll with it. And
Yeah.
they'll like give you like all these ads related to like what you talked about moments ago, oddly
Right.
enough, and then they don't like, they use all your info. They use like your location and your your private info, and they not give you anything in return. They make a profit off of it.
Here's
I'm
another
like,
thing, Izzy. It's like, hang on, like we and in 2008 they said like that's what happened. That's why all these jobs went away, and that's where like the economy really went to shit when they
Yeah.
like bailed out all these banks and these mortgages, toxic mortgages, and like for the auto industry, like that was like they gave like a whole bunch of people who crashed the economy in 2008, they gave them free money from like taxpayer dollars.
yeah.
And that ended up like hitting us. So where the hell is our compensation? Like, I didn't contribute to the economic crash. I didn't contribute to all the shit that they did on Wall Street.
No.
So how are you putting this whole thing on the people in my generation? Excuse me. That's not okay. That's not appropriate. Like, what the hell? You know?
That's petty. That's just
That's stealing.
Yeah.
That's straight up just stealing. They stole from all of us, basically. They stole, but since it wasn't like straight up money, basically, like, they stole our opportunities because like if you bought a car from, like, let's just say a car dealership, and then it
Right.
just like breaks down in the middle of the freeway, and then you call the car dealership and they say, oh, well, it's your fault because, like, you didn't put the car back together that we sold you. It's like, hang on a second. You sold a shit car. You sold a car that would just break down if it went over 40 miles per hour.
This was also
you're lying to your customers.
Here's the other thing, Ariel. His was also so messed up. Like those updated cars, like those, in like current times or whatever, along with like the newest trending laptops and computers or whatever, they too break down. It's like, and we're supposed, and they're saying like, well, it's somehow your fault. It's like, well, this, like, and you have to pay like all this money, and it still has all these problems.
Yeah. I mean, it's really ridiculous. But like our schooling system was already broken down from the get-go.
Yeah.
From like the beginning when they didn't tell us the stuff that we needed to know to like prepare for the rest of their lives.
We were screwed over for decades.
And then they blame us for not knowing it. It's like, okay, like at this point, like they have a mental illness. Like,
oh yeah.
I don't know what's going on here, but it's like you don't blame someone for the shit that you created. It's like if you were baking a cake and you put battery acid in it and it didn't taste good, and then you started blaming the oven. You idiot. You don't put battery acid in a cake.
That's literally how it sounds. Yeah.
So it's like, well, if you gave us shitty information that we can't use and isn't useful, and you judged us on that, and now you're judging us by how much success we're having in life, it wasn't us, it was the shitty process that you put us through that you don't even understand was shitty. And and the sad thing is, it's like, because they were put through that same shitty process, but they don't understand it's shitty.
So they're just like, because like we're like the younger generation,
Right.
and like we're you and I, we're like, and various others, we're like we're like kind-hearted and like don't, and are
Right.
innocent, like we're doing our own thing or whatever. They use us as like,
Well, it's time to stop. It's time to stop being so kind-hearted and innocent.
Stop being nice.
It's time to call them out on their crap.
Man.
I mean, what do they want? I mean, I'm done being nice. It's like, I'm done. I'm sorry. Like I'm not gonna pretend that like your farts smell good. They may smell good to you, but they don't smell good to me. It's not perfume. Your farts are not perfume, and start treating them like they are.
Like your farts smell like demons.
Right. Yeah. So it's like, and then they like to say like, oh, like we just want to complain. No. Listen, asshole. Okay. If if I had some good mentorship, like let's just say hypothetically, like in high school, like someone said like, oh, you know what? You want to like start a drone business? Here, I'm going to teach you like how my business works and how this works and how I make my money. And then I'm going to like be there and then show you like how to make this money and how to create this business and how you get customers. And if they could just show me that, if they could just show me a way that I could make like a radio show or a podcast or something like that and get paid for it and make some decent money, I wouldn't be complaining right now. I wouldn't be saying anything. I would be like, oh, thank you. Like that's good. Okay, so you showed me how to make this, and this is how like I'm getting my customers, and this is how my money is coming in, and this is how this works, and this is how that works. And now, I have a business and I enjoy it, and I'm the face of this business, and I'm helping people, and I'm talking to the people I want to talk to, making a good, money that I want to make. I'd be like, okay, like that's cool.
You wouldn't have to try to figure it out yourself.
Right. But it's like, did you do that, you stupid idiots? No. Like you didn't do it. And it's not even that hard. It's not even that hard. But they couldn't like provide just the tiniest amount of guidance to do the simplest kind of things, and the idiots have the nerve to blame us. I rest my case.
The other thing I wanted to point out is that like some do give guidance, but what they'll do is like they'll try to take the credit for it. Like for instance, if you make some sort of accomplishment, no matter what level it is, like they will be like, yeah, I did that, like I'm and or something like that, or they'll try to like attend every event you're in, or like say, my son or whatever, my daughter, like they did A, B, and C, and all because of me, and it's like that's just
like parasitic, that's just like pride leeching and shit like that. It's so stupid, really. And it just like, okay, you know what's really easy, like what's like the easiest thing in the world, yet they like never do it. It's like, okay, like I had this son or daughter, and I put them here on this world, and I didn't really even ask for their permission. I just like decided to do it. Okay, so the least I could fucking do is like, okay, like you're my son, you're my daughter, like what makes you happy? What do you enjoy? And it's like, oh, like I enjoy making a podcast or making YouTube videos. It's like, okay, like let's see like how I can help you with that. Let's see, like, who do we need to talk to? Like, who is doing this already? How did they do it? Like, what steps did they make? Or maybe in my case, like, I want to be a pilot. It's like, okay, it's going to be expensive. Like, let's like, like look at some schools around here, or like see how this works, or like that. And then like, right. Do that. But like, don't be all like a robot. Like, oh no, just get a college degree and like this is it, and then like go work some random job that you don't give a shit about because that's what everyone does. It's like, what the hell, it's just like and not even for our parents, like for a goddamn schooling system that does such a bad job. It's like it's like my high school counselor was just a parakeet who could only say go like what college, like college. It's like why don't we just put a fucking parakeet in there? Like, why do we have you? We can just put a parakeet in there that repeats the word college 1,000 times in a row. Don't just say that. Like get
obedient workers.
Right. Like give guidance that's actually worth something. Don't just not just some generic bullshit that you just like lay out there for people and expect that to be okay.
Yeah. You're not gonna get them like excited for something like that. And like to your point, as far as like what would I say to like my kid, like even like if they like were unsure as to like what they want to do, I'd be like, okay, hey, you can how about you start like making videos and stuff, or just like anything you enjoy, just like put it showcase it anytime. I mean, that's what I'm doing for my brand, because like I have ADHD, so I can't just stick with just one small thing and just.
Wouldn't it be nice, like okay, so when you started this whole IzzyLand thing and this podcast and all that stuff, what I bet like were your parents all like, oh, it's just a waste of time. It's like well, why would you why would you even think of that? Like, maybe you're not gonna make all this like money and stuff, but like like what did they respond with?
No, they were the ones leeching off. They were like, ooh, so you created.
Okay.
Yeah, they were those types.
Okay. The leech, but did they do anything to like help you out?
What they always talk about is the job talk, teaching me how to fish or whatever, that sort of crap. That's what they've been doing. And like, and when I was trying to like work on this brand and stuff, for stars, it was like an idea. That's literally what it was. Because like I was one of those people who were unsure, because like I mean at the beginning like I tried music and of course I was on saxophone. My father, Brett, yeah, my son does saxophone, whatever. And my peers actually beat me up one time to the point where I cracked my lip and I couldn't play the winded instrument. So I stopped, and my father still kept talking about me playing saxophone when I was done. I'm like,
well, why would they do that?
He just like, well, they like the attention, especially.
Oh, I mean your friends.
No, these were my peers. It's like they were in the same age group, but this like I'm in an area like on the south side of Chicago where if you were considered different, you're a target. You'd be lucky if you were ostracized.
Damn,
it's like I mean they it's like they can sense it. Like if you're awkward or not like not everyone else, if you don't walk or talk like them, like they
right.
They,
so that's why they did that to you. They just like randomly just wanted to beat you.
Yeah, they made like, so what happened was so there were like two occurrences was happening. Like one was my friend was trying to be like a pro baller and he absolutely sucked. He was just trying to fit in his way, and I would like follow him because it's like that was my only friend. But and then these guys like decided to like just beat me up and laugh about it, and then they even bragged about it in high school. And then the second time I was on the court, just mind my own business on one of the baskets, and some chick comes up to me trying to like take my ball and get in my face, and I told her off. And then next thing I know, I see these group of guys just come straight up to me and just punch me in the face. One of them saying, "Hey," one of them asked me like, "Hey, are you okay?" And then he just straight clocks me, while everyone else is like gathering around laughing and stuff. And it's like and then I heard that chick lied of saying like she told like those group of guys like I was talking about their mothers or some shit, just to like start something. And then
stuff.
one of those guys actually bragged about it right in front of me in the cafeteria in high school, saying like, "Yeah, remember that time when I beat your ass bloody, on over on the court there? Yeah, good times." And then you called the cops and we started running like cockroaches. It's embarrassing. And the thing about it is that I thought this would end. I even had a knife pulled on me once by no joke. I had a knife pulled on me, and I think it was like in middle school, and it was like one of the peers. And I thought that this would end with peers. I didn't know it would evolve to like adults, and then to funny enough, those who beat the kids who beat me up, now they're Christians. Now they're religious.
Well, yeah.
How convenient, right? This is
right, yeah.
But I thought it would end there. I thought it would end with people my age. I didn't know it was going to be those with authority, those who parents,
exactly.
those who are adults.
Exactly. Yeah. Like just like the whole world is like one big high school.
Oh man, don't get me started.
It's like the whole world is just like one big high school popularity contest, and it's disgusting because it's like, okay, like there's something called evolution, there's something called evolving, there's something called like striving to be like more than you already are.
Tell Darwin we need to go back.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And that's the same thing like I found out. I thought like, okay, like I'm gonna be 21 and I'm finally, because I did well in school. Like I got like mostly A's and B's. Yeah. Especially like I only got like 1 C throughout out of all of college, and that was with like a sociopath professor. But everything else was just like A's and B's. Everything else, and then I'm like, okay, like I'm doing really good in like school, so I'm gonna have a job and be making really good money in like no time. Because some of
those professors can be like really full of themselves, and like they just they sound like a possible serial killer. It's just like,
oh yeah. So then I'm like, okay, like no, and then I'm like, okay, I don't like understand this bullshit. Like they said, do well in school, like keep those grades up, and you're not gonna have any trouble with like any kind of work. And then I'm like, so then why the hell am I having this kind of trouble, because they never told me. It was never about like how well you do in school or how good your grades are. It's about like how you can impress some person when you're like interviewing with them. How
It's
you can
about who you know.
like it's like exactly, it's about who you know. And they never really tell you that. They in school it's all about like what's up here and like how well you can do on all this like random shit that we give you, and memorize all this like bullshit information and then regurgitate it on some stupid okay, they're full of crap.
They said it's
Okay,
going to be like an easy transition and shit.
Right. So then I'm like, okay, then what the hell is going on here? Like I was really confused. And then I saw like we do not live in a meritocracy at all. That's a load of crap.
Ever wanted to share a thought or a perspective on a certain issue to an audience of your choosing?
Heck yeah!
Well, then podcasting is the way to go. When it comes to podcasting, you can verbalize your insights on a range of topics in an unfiltered setting. You don't really need a voice for radio, just pick up a mic and speak. Anyone can do it. And the best place to get your podcast up and running is the free podcast-based platform called Anchor. With Anchor, not only you can easily upload and or record your episodes and promos from the comfort of your own home, but you can have your podcast shared on various social media platforms. I've actually seen my own podcast, IzzyLand Uncut, on apps like Spotify and freaking iTunes. And as an added bonus, Anchor gives you the option to monetize your podcast. It's unreal, and that can be you. Just sign up today for free at anchor.fm. That's ANCHOR.FM. Get started on creating content, building your audience, and one day you may become the next Joe Rogan. Just begin your career in podcasting with Anchor and let your creativity go wild.
Because it's like, okay, so there's a girl who has like an OnlyFans page, and she acts like a dog, and she's 21, and she gets $10,000 a month for acting like a dog on her OnlyFans account.
You kidding me?
Yeah. And we're saying that this place is not a meritocracy. This place is a bullshitocracy.
Yeah.
It's like it's all full of crap. So now I'm like, okay, this is confusing and this is stupid. So yeah. This is my main point. I'm like, okay, so let me get this straight. I come from like a well-to-do, like wealthy family with like my uncles make good money, and they like I lived in that big house. So you're telling me like I already lived in a big house and I already had a family that like makes good money, but here I am struggling myself to make my own money. So if you fucking idiots can't help me, and I already come from like a good background that has money, how bad of a job are you stupid fucking idiots doing on the people who actually need help?
That's another great point you brought up. That's another great point you brought up, because like, people on the outside, they say like, oh, he looks so privileged and have all these things and stuff. It's like with my friend Melissa over in South Africa, because she has like these Indian parents, and they buy all these cars and stuff. These people are on the outside going, well, what do you need our help for? You're probably just going to spend, if you ask for money, you're probably just going to spend on like makeup and shit, just going on like ridiculous stuff. You're not suffering. You're not like, why don't you just ask your parents for money? Why don't you? It's like, not even knowing the.
That's not, you see, because it's not about wealth and money. It's about like,
right.
Does this person like understand what I'm going through? What I want, what my needs are, it's about. Okay, okay, so when the extended unemployment was going out, and that extra 600, I was really happy. But the thing was, it's like after I bought like a chemistry kit, and like I bought a drone, I bought this new chair, But then like when and then I just kind of got a little bored. I'm like, okay, like, you know, the money and all that stuff, like whatever. But like now like I'm not thinking so much about money as I am about like, okay, what impact am I gonna have like on the world
Yeah.
and people's lives?
What
Like
legacy can I leave
what
behind?
yeah, what legacy? And that's like so much more fulfilling. It's like Izzy, if somebody gave you like a chandelier worth like $100,000 made out of gold, I mean, like, would you really give a damn?
Not
I
really.
mean, like, yeah, not really. You probably want to sell it, and then someone says like, no, you can't sell it. Okay, like for instance, like sometimes on my birthday or on holidays, like some of my family members, they buy me clothes, and it's like I don't even care. Maybe it would always like bother me when people would buy me like really expensive things that I didn't give a shit about. And then like yeah, but it's like, but you know how much I paid for that? It's like, but I never said I wanted it. It's like, you know,
Yeah, and then they try to flip on you saying, like,
it's like,
after all the things I bought for you,
yeah,
whatever,
I
you're
know.
so ungrateful. It's like, I didn't
Wait, but
ask for it.
hang on. I didn't ask for it. I didn't fucking ask for it. It's like, if I'm not asking for it, you don't have to buy. You know, instead of buying all that shit that you bought me, why don't you just give me the money? It's, you know, I know what I
Yeah.
want. It's like, I mean, it's funny. And then they say like, oh, but do you know how much taxpayer money that we spend on public education?
It's
Well,
like they're trying to demand a
like
thank you. It's like,
it's like, hang on again. Like you like that money is as good as you taking all these people's money and flushing it down the toilet.
right.
Because it's like, if you're gonna mismanage the fucking resources, you shouldn't have those goddamn resources in the first place. So if you're gonna be spending all this money on public education, and you morons don't even have like a class on like budgeting or relationships or emotional intelligence, and what do we get instead? Like Shakespeare? It's like, okay, like, no offense to the people who like Shakespeare, but I never had to use that. like I never went into a jobs interview. Like how many job interviews would you go to, and then they'll ask you like, okay, like, what was all the shit that you memorized for that test that you have in school? They'll never do that, because they don't
Yeah.
care about that. All they care about is like, okay, how are you going to make my company money so we pay you money? You know, that's what they get, but that never gets talked about in school. So it's like, so then what are you idiots spending taxpayer money on? What are you spending like property taxes on? It's like, does it not boggle anyone's mind that it's like we waste money on all this crap, and then we complain about how bad things are?
What really boggles my mind, I will definitely, and I've said it multiple times, is the fact that, we're having these problems in a society that is supposed to be like first world and have all these resources, and yet a culture like the French, like all the suggestions you mentioned, like they've done, and they're like 50
Mhm.
years behind. And their
Right.
software is outdated, and it's like and a lot of their like methods or whatever are outdated as well, and yet they still, they're to like, I think I mentioned to you before on like the other podcast, but the um the French over in Quebec are giving all their people, the freedom dividend that Andrew Yang proposed. Like, it's
Yeah.
not 1K a month, but it's like it's now 1,500. It was 1K before, but now it's 1,500 a month.
Right.
And
No,
it's
no.
like
Our leaders don't give a
they don't
damn
have that
about
kind of money. Yeah.
and it's so disgusting that in our culture we've internalized this abuse and neglect to be something that like builds character and like all this
Yeah.
shit. It's like, no, fuck you, it doesn't like build anything. It only makes matters worse. It's like, oh, okay, like why'd you just beat this guy up for no reason in like an alley? Because it builds character. It's like, no, you're a fucking idiot. It's like, there's no reason to add like extra suffering into an already bad situation, but we have this backward, stupid ass culture that like thinks it's a good idea, that it's like somehow, building people up when all you're really doing is tearing them down. It boggles the mind, and it's
We're
like,
becoming like the new Vikings.
right. If you look at like how much money we waste on like stupid, unnecessary bullshit in this country with our like military industrial complex and like our public schools and all this
Right.
stuff. It's like, well, you stupid asses, why don't you just give the citizens that money instead of wasting it all on your crap?
But we
And
don't have
it's
the
like,
money.
right. No, you do. You like then where the hell did the bailout money for the 2008 bailouts come from? Where did that where is that? It's like, "Oh, we don't have the money." Oh, wait, we just farted it out right now, but that's all that we had. It's like, no. They're being disingenuous. They're being full of crap. I mean, I really think that we should get like a C-130 airplane, like one of those big military ones, fill it up with like a bunch of doctors and like parachute the doctors into Washington D.C. so they can open the heads of our stupid leaders and replace their brains.
The main lobotomy or like
yeah, like just like a lobotomy team and send them all down to that dump that we call Washington D.C.
bring some French doctors in. That would be awesome.
Open their skulls and examine their brains and what makes these people so fucking dumb, and we should like replace them. Like that.
I like it. I'm definitely gonna bookmark that.
Yeah, like that's what we should do, because it's like, hey, look, like we're wasting money on stupid shit that's not gonna help anyone, and we're proud of ourselves and we're patting ourselves on the back. No, okay, well, if that's the way you think, get the fuck out of here, you pieces of shit.
Tell them to leave the country, right? Yeah.
Right, exactly. It's like they're garbage. They're trash.
Let us control the country. Let us run the
well,
show.
Well, that's what we're doing. That's what we're trying to do, Mike.
Trying, right? Yeah.
I don't know why, but like these humanity first candidates, like who are running for Congress, they are the real deal. Like they are the thing. So it's like it's basically like,
especially David Kim. I like him. He's like,
yeah, oh yeah, he's awesome. He's awesome. So we're trying to. It reminds me. It's like there was a place on top of a mountain that was like a landfill. So it's like they got rid of all the disgusting filth and the garbage and the trash, and they built like a nice community up there. And it's like, that's what we're trying to do with the politicians that we have now. They're basically like a landfill. Instead of having a government, we have a landfill. So we have to replace the landfill with something that's actually like good. It's something that actually
we got to clean it up, yeah.
And not we got to clean it up. We got to clean this shit up. It's like and it's like they don't want you to clean it up. It's like somebody comes to your house and they take a dump on your carpet and you're like, hey, and then you're like, oh God, I need to like clean up this shit that you just took up on my carpet. And it's like, no, don't touch my shit. I think it smells good. I think it looks good. Like, keep it on your carpet. I'm not gonna let you remove my shit on your carpet because that offends me. It's like,
Here's the other thing. This is like, imagine like everything that's transpired. Okay, we have this COVID pandemic happening, right? And then we got like, the George Floyd situation and all the other like police brutality cases and stuff, and the civil unrest. There's like it's especially happening, in full effect in my area, to the point where they actually had to like close down some businesses near me, I believe in like Homewood, Illinois, where I usually get groceries. And then we had like this major storm. It's like it was like we were getting like hurricane winds that literally had a citywide power outage, right? Over in my area. And like we were like ComEd was like, pretty like falling way behind. We had to wait like a full over more than a week just to get our power back. And I'm sitting here like, man, if we had UBI, or like if we had like more of these 21st century solutions that we've been discussing for the longest, my goodness, like shoot, we wouldn't be having these issues. And yet the French, like they would never, this would never happen over there. It's like,
well, Izzy, like that's like, I really thought that Trump would have been someone like Andrew Yang. So I didn't. Yeah. I just said like, okay.
That's what he made himself out to be. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he made himself out to be. But it turns out he was full of crap.
Yeah.
It turns out like so that's why Andrew Yang had the most amount of people who went for Trump. All the smart people who voted for Trump went on Yang's side when he was running. And I came from that. But the thing is that Trump came into it with a lot of he already had a brand before he ran, and Yang didn't. You see, that's the thing. And
he was a reality TV star.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so our news media, they're like flies attracted to shit. And the bigger the shit is and the bigger it smells, the more that they go around it. But they're not flies attracted to I don't know, strawberry cheesecake. They're attracted to shit. And it's and so when there's something that's actually genuinely good and can work and thing, it doesn't smell like the shit that they're attracted to, because the shit makes them more money. Because if things are good and things are nice and everyone's calm and everything is peaceful, there's no money in the news to be made out of that. But when everybody's losing their minds and losing their shit and going crazy, there's more money that the news can make from that. It produces more headlines.
Oh yeah.
So
more clicks.
It's the incentive structure, my friend. There's a reason why this is happening. We could, there's no reason for people to not be happy and satisfied and good with their lives. The only reason that it's happening is because it keeps the shit that we have right now in power, and this shit doesn't want to let go. So we got to be smart about the way we go about this, and we got to just wake people up, man. You got to just say hey, things don't have to suck this much. And the only reason they suck this much is because the people who are profiting off of perpetuating these problems are not paying attention to the things that actually matter.
See, the main problem is to your point, is the fact that the people on the left and the right, it's they have the wrong kind of wokeness. They don't have the George Carlin wokeness. They have the it could be change their hair color, talking about fascism, or saying oh, Antifa's out to get me, or all this other stuff. And I'm sitting there dude, the point is, the reason why you're like that is because okay, your health is out of whack, and you got a bill due tomorrow. So, and I have a solution for that. So fucking listen to me, if you want to survive,
right. Because
if you want to live, that's
the left thinks that everything that is bad in the world is capitalism.
Yeah.
And the right thinks that everything bad in the world is communism. But it's
too many restrictions and no restrictions at all. It's
right. Exactly. So it's hang on a second. There's a midpoint, that we're not looking at. We call it a happy medium. So it's some of the things that our government does is BS, and it's a waste of time, and they're incompetent. I can agree with you. But at the same time, we're not animals in a jungle. We need some regulation. Somebody needs to inspect your meat if it has E. coli or some crap like that. Somebody needs to make sure that rats aren't peeing in your soda. It's no, the free market will take care of that. Okay, so if your soda had some rat piss in it, and people bought it and they didn't know, and one of them died, it's oh, okay, well then the free market took care of it. It's no, you idiot. You want to live in a totally unregulated, free, where there's no rules and laws at all. Yeah, we have a place for that. It's called the jungle. It's you want to live in a jungle? Well, I mean, it's we're already living in an economic jungle where the economically, strong can just do whatever the hell they want to the economically weak. And that's where, we raise the floor and we have a freedom dividend. So no one is so desperate that they'll be in a shitty job or a shitty relationship just because they have nowhere else to turn to.
Let me put it this way. If you have too many regulations, you have the Matrix or the Truman Show. If you have no regulations whatsoever, you got the Purge. That's
right. Exactly.
This is what it is. And my friend made this, always mention that, in her words that in the English culture, they usually have all these regulations, and they're pretty much unnecessary regulations, like you gotta talk a certain way or do this or do that. Whereas like over in the French culture, they have like a few very strict rules, but everything else is like pretty lax. So like if you like a thing about like niceness and how like people like if they like if you're not nice or whatever, they won't do this or that for you. Over in the French, like you could be the meanest SOB on there, like they're still going to like give you service. So they're not gonna like call the police on you if you like snap off or anything or all this other stuff. Like they're just
well, it's like this is the problem with how stupid the culture that we live in is that like we don't get to the root of the problems like ever. We're always like nibbling around the edges,
and we don't practice what we preach.
Yeah, exactly. It's just nibbling around the edges, like all these means tested programs and not having a UBI.
Nibbling and finger pointing.
Like nibbling and like DC has made a career out of pointing fingers. If you hired a bunch of like stupid ass boneheads in your company and they never got anything done and all they did was blame each other for things not getting done,
they would get nothing done.
You'd say, get the hell out of here. You don't work here anymore. But we have the same exact morons when it comes to our politics, and people are stuck in this they call it like political hobbyism, that it's like, oh, it's like you might as well wear a jersey with your politician on it who doesn't do shit and just blames other politicians for things not getting done. It's childish. It's like like you're a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
I mean we want things to actually move, to actually happen. We want like the movers and shakers in there to say like, okay, here's a problem. This is how you solve a problem. Not here's a problem. Let's not solve it and let's just throw shit at each other like a bunch of monkeys.
The thing that makes me that find unsettling and upsetting is the fact that they will call our ideas to be extreme. Now I understand, like, okay, maybe like free college and like having people work for the government, maybe that's a bit out there, but giving people like a universal basic income, like this has history.
Well, the thing is that the only thing we should be looking at is the data and the evidence.
Right. If
the data and the evidence shows that it's going to help, what go there. If the data and the evidence shows that it's not going to work, then don't do it. But if you're not willing to test it, then we're never going to know, asshole. It's like, and that's the way they are. You know the right is very famous for saying like, oh, the liberals are too much in their feelings and emotions and like facts don't care about your feelings. But let me.
They're just as opinionated as the left.
And they're okay. Yeah. That too.
But the same cloth, man.
But then I was talking to this guy on Twitter and I said, okay, look, like you said that a UBI is just gonna like make people lazy and like not want to do work and like just sit at home, play video games all day. Well, I found this study where they actually studied it and they looked at the results and they said that it didn't do that. And I didn't even get a response from him after that.
I mean, you would think
didn't you just say that facts don't care about your feelings? Like,
you would think you would buy it when it was told that the Pope supported UBI, or places like Germany and France and Alaska are our own like backyard.
It's not about what works. It's not about the logic and the data and the facts. It's about like thumping their chests like idiots. We have like this dignity of like what, being bored and miserable. There's dignity in that. You know what? Get your dignity and shove it up your ass, because that's not dignity. If that's your idea of dignity, shove it, because it doesn't make sense. And it's like, like I don't know about you, but when I was younger, like I looked forward to like a world with, oh wait, here, let me get it out here. Like you ever think of like the world of the future and stuff?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like
dude, I had that dream too, yeah.
Right. Like amazing technology, right? Like right here. And then over here, like
I even like draw out like these high tech like unique drawings and stuff, or even like yeah,
dude,
it's usually like Pokemon related, but still
this thing looks beautiful. Like,
oh dude,
it's like just imagine like an airship in the sky where you can take like a vacation like in the air with like how fucking awesome would that be? And it's like,
Hey
why
man,
the
Germany
right?
probably already has that. Just or
Right,
China.
like something like that, and it's like, why the fuck aren't we concentrating on this? Like, this looks cool, this looks fun, and it's like the reason why we don't have something like this yet, this like super cool looking like Zeppelin take a vacation in the sky thing, is because UBI isn't here. Wouldn't you want to be living in like this kind of world where you have like this awesomeness and like tech and things are like flying around you, and there's like this beautiful architecture, and like you can have like a jetpack and like and like all these things, you can have like your flying car by now, and
Oh
it's
yeah.
like, why but what do we have instead? What do we have? We have these fucking morons as leaders.
I mean, in the movie Back to the
No,
Future, like it was like they came to the year 2020 and they have flying cars, but here in 2020, we're
right.
not having that.
Well, look.
We're,
If we had someone like
we're
Andrew
stuck in the
Yang,
past.
yeah, exactly. But let me tell you something, Izzy. If we had someone like Andrew Yang, like as president, like when I was born, this would probably be a reality.
Oh yeah.
Shit
Oh
that
yeah.
we're living in right now. Not the shit. These shit bags. I don't care if there's offensive. Stole this reality from us with their narcissism, with their incompetence, with their stupidity, with their stubbornness, and they need to get their asses kicked. I'm just gonna say it.
I will even bring this up. Okay, so like if we had UBI, as while I was growing up, like we wouldn't have to
Right.
like close down arcades or anything else. But also like the black community, especially in my area, it's like and with all our leaders, like nothing has changed. We're still barely have any resources. A lot of people don't have much direction, so there's a lot of crime. There's a lot of like disconnect and just like projection and stuff. And I'm saying like if we put UBI into these communities, oh man, it's like the whole infrastructure would change. Like you will
Right.
actually see like they will be able to make their own black businesses and won't have to rely on
Right.
freaking Popeyes or whatever.
So
Like they
yeah.
might not have flying cars, but it will definitely look like
Better.
a upscale neighborhood maybe.
Here's the thing that I kind of researched, and I kind of think I know like what can really help us. We need someone like with the smartness of Andrew Yang, but with kind of like the fire and the anger and the passion of like Donald Trump. Then we're never gonna lose.
I got an idea.
Right?
Like it goes back to like you mentioned like having that one big plane dump all those doctors. How about we also dump like a bunch of clones of Andrew Yang, like just upon like
yeah.
throughout the
Upon
nation,
yeah,
all
exactly.
over the world.
We'll live in such a better world, man. I mean, like, we need people with an IQ that's higher than a potato in charge of things.
Yeah,
Or else like we're not gonna, but you see, like, because like zombie people with their zombie philosophies have been in charge for like so long, because zombies vote for zombies, dummies vote for dummies, numbskulls vote for numbskulls, and we find ourselves in the reality that we're in today.
sheep vote for
And
sheep. Yeah,
cheap vote for cheap, exactly. So the thing we need to do is we need to make the candidate that we have palatable to the people who vote, and we're finally going to get something done. The reason Andrew Yang didn't win is not only because he wasn't nice, is because they sucked all the oxygen away from him, and they didn't want to give him any exposure. So now what we have to do is to say, like, you know what, you can't ignore us anymore.
well, the other thing, Ariel, is that the owners of this country didn't want an Andrew Yang.
Oh, of
Because it's
course
like,
not.
oh,
Because
he
because
he,
then
he went against the grain of the
it went
establishment or
against the grain,
whatever.
right? Exactly.
Yeah,
And
and go ahead. Go ahead.
but the thing is that like people have to recognize that, but they don't. It's like they don't care. And the thing is because the establishment is so lazy and so pathetic. like they would have lost all their jobs because they don't have anything to offer anyone except their bullshit, and they're getting money for it. So it's like, okay, like if he calls us out on our bluff and he calls us out on our crap, we're probably going to be like poor and miserable and have nothing because we don't have anything to offer except our crap. But if people don't buy our crap anymore, we're going to be in a really bad place. So we have to make sure that Andrew Yang doesn't get in. It's like you gotta know the thought processes.
Basically,
right? Exactly. Because it's like, look, like if you suck at your job and you're really doing a shitty job, but then like somebody else who you know can do better is like interviewing for that same job, you're going to do whatever you can to make sure that they don't get hired so they don't outshine you in what you're doing.
the thing that's fucked up is that we have people who do shitty jobs, but they still have their job because they know the boss, or they were friends with the boss, or the boss's family, or they know
Yeah.
someone in the higher ups. So what we also need is not just an Andrew Yang, but an Andrew Yang at that level. We need an Andrew Yang, in like those rich families that run the show, or in the
Right.
or in like in Congress. Like we need multiple ones, and like I even joked about saying like, hey, we need some lobbyists that are Yang Gang, and
Right.
it is
Well, there are ways to like hack the system, and we just need to learn how that works. And
a lot of work.
what's his name? Well, I mean, the good news is that Dr. Jermaine Johnson did win
Yeah.
in was it South Carolina? So
That was
I
an
guess
upset.
that was an upset. So we just need like 100 more of those.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of looking good. I mean, you weren't there, but we just had an interview with Carlos Cardona.
Yeah, yesterday, right? Yeah.
Yesterday. Yesterday. So that things are looking good for that. And he was a write-in candidate, and it's really hard for write-in candidates to like win anything. But I mean, like the Titanic is basically sinking at this point, and it's gonna take like a whole bunch of Andrew Yangs to like create a better boat. Like while like we're trying to create like a better boat while the boat that we're on is sinking right now.
Right.
So it's tough, but somebody's got to do it, man. And I just really feel bad for my generation and all the generations that are coming after me because of selfish, disgusting old people who just want to like hold on to power,
Especially
and, like,
the
that's
baby
all they
boomers,
know.
man.
And it's like, okay, yeah. Look, this is how it is. They call you lazy, but this is where the bullshit really comes from. You've been to like an arcade, right?
Yeah.
And let's say that like you want to play this space arcade game that you really like.
Like
So
play,
there's this
Street
kid.
Fighter, or
Right. Okay. So there's this kid who's playing Street Fighter, and they're losing over and over and over again. And then you're like standing there in line. You're like, okay, is it my turn now? And they're like, no. You don't know how to play this game. You'll just lose. And then you're like, but you've been losing like 100 times in a row.
yeah.
And then it's like when is it gonna be my turn? No. I still have more chance. That's the baby boomers. They've been losing 100 times in a row. They have never given us the controls, and they're telling us we don't know how to play the game.
And I mean, if we appear that way ourselves, you know where we get it from.
Right.
So
Exactly.
essentially like the baby boomers, like, and I even saw a video on this where they literally came up in an era where like you were guaranteed to be successful as your parents, or have more things accessible
Well,
to you, and
That's when there was no automation back then.
right. I mean,
And the internet was like hardly there.
the internet started up around our time, while we were growing up. Like that's when it
Yeah.
started taking off.
Yeah.
Like back
Right,
when
exactly.
there was 95 or Windows 95 or whatever. But yeah, like they had like in the baby boomer era, they had multiple jobs and stuff. And now here and then like as they got older, like in their 50s and stuff, and then like you had automation, come in, the rise of technology along with ignorance and disconnection. These baby boomers are like they're always like hemming and hawing, and they're like, oh my goodness, and then it's rather than like take responsibility, they're like putting all the blame. They never take it out on like the disgruntled boss they're working for. Saying like, oh, they worked 20 years, 30, 40, or whatever for this asshole, or whatever. But they take it out
Kid.
on their next of kin, their offspring, or whatever. And I'm sitting there going like, isn't that a bit like you're just trying to like pass the torch as far as like that toxicity and just
Right.
trying to like treating them and I believe I mentioned to my friend about this, where treating them like they're like an extension of yourself,
Right.
right? It's like it's
So like
sickening.
instead of a torch with like a fire lit on it, it's like a torch with like sewage. It's like that's the
Yeah,
torch.
yeah, torch from the underworld, like in the
It's
like with Hades, yeah.
right, yeah.
I'm telling you,
It's
man.
like and like it's time to extinguish it.
I also
And
want to I also want to bring
yeah, yeah,
up.
yeah. No,
Go ahead, go ahead. No,
but like the good baby boomers are always silenced and like spoken over by the shitty ones. There
Yeah,
are some good ones out there, but like their voices are that we need more of them.
there's some good ones in every generation,
Yeah.
but it's like yeah, the all those the bad
Yeah.
people are like they're just outweigh the good. And but I
But
did,
it's sad
yeah,
because the scum rises to the top. So
yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
That's what's effed up. And I mean, and I just want to point this out, because like I actually talked with my friend over in Canada about this. She mentioned that, as far as like the baby boomers and the generations and stuff, she mentioned that over in the French, the baby boomers are actually pretty nice. They're pretty like silent and chill,
Oh, okay.
and it's like our
Yeah.
generation and the younger ones that are like more like aggressive and impatient or whatever. But they're not like
Right.
self-entitled. They're not manipulative or anything like that. And here's the other thing. Based off of their like the history she told me, they literally went through a generational Great Depression. Like a lot of them, like the older people, like they barely had any resources. But it was like the younger folks and our generation that started getting more opportunities and stuff. And it seems like the roles are kind of reversed in this culture.
Right.
And that's what was so it's like a
It's pretty
bizarro,
gross. Like yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a bizarre world where the kids act like adults and the adults act like kids. It's like
yeah.
it's pretty sad. And it's like if somebody has a new idea, and even if I disagree with it, I'll still take the time to like
I'll
listen to
listen,
them
yeah,
and try to understand where they're coming from. The bullshit comes in is like when a new idea comes in and you just like block it just instantaneously. Like you don't even take the time to like listen and what do they say, like small minds like talk about people, like medium minds talk about like events, and like really intelligent minds talk about ideas. So we have very small minds because we're always talking about like, oh, these people this and these people that. But then it's like stop talking about people and start talking about ideas. Because for us, like I don't give a damn what the person's name is. Even if their name is like Andrew Yin or like Doug MacArthur or whatever the hell they want to call themselves. I don't even care if their name is Mud. If they pass the UBI, I'm with them.
yeah.
You can name yourself Mud for all I'm concerned, but if you have like really good policies
If they're about
and
humanity
really good
first,
ideas,
yeah,
if you're about humanity first, yeah, exactly. It doesn't have to be that. And let's say like in 2024 there was some mystery presidential candidate, but he had like even better policies than Andrew Yang. It's like, sure, I'm not gonna attack them. I'm gonna be like, oh, so maybe you deserve to win. Maybe like things like that's it. Like we're not obsessed with like the name we're obsessed with the ideas that the person has.
My friend over in Canada, she actually made this joke to me about like, so hey, what if instead of Andrew Yang, you got like that one Hispanic lady that you encountered at, like when you were admitted to the hospital, whatever, and stuff. It's like, what if she had like the same ideas as Andrew Yang, but but even like more than that? Like, would you vote for her instead? And I would be like, and I was like, yeah. I mean, even though Andrew Yang is a cool dude, it's like I care about like helping others. People like you and I, and especially
we care about like what's gonna help
the future,
situation,
yeah.
what's gonna solve this problem, right? Not like, oh, who's gonna get the credit, and like
right,
like how can I?
We're not sheep
off of their like coolness, and we're not leeches. We're not
right.
We're not like what like a pride leech, like a pride. You just want to attach someone. You just want to attach yourself to a person's name because you want to leech like pride off of them. It's like, oh, I'm attached, but that's like that's the majority of some people. It's like they don't. It's like you like what I love about like my drone is how like when I fly high, it's like zooming out. And like when it's zooming out, it's like I can see like the whole, like everything, instead of just like there. Like you have to like look at everything, and that's the beauty of like looking at how all these systems like kind of work. Like like when you have a traffic jam, it's because maybe like there's an accident like 6 miles ahead of you, and that's affecting all the way behind you. It's like like when ants are marching and like someone like puts their hand there and they all stop at the same time because like something's blocked. But like the people don't understand, like we have like our systems are clogged because we don't have a UBI. If we had a UBI, it would circulate. Basically like like maybe when you sleep on your arm and then like you can't move it and it falls asleep and then
it starts numbing out. Yeah.
Why is that? Because there's no circulation, right? Because your blood needs to circulate, and just like with money,
I like that analogy. There you go.
right. UBI, it creates more circulation. But if you're too afraid to spend your money, and other people are afraid to spend,
it helps
money,
things function. There you.
Yeah, exactly. It helps then you get a clot. So we have all of these clots in like our communities, in like people's lives. We're seeing that young people are living with their parents.
Some are about to be amputated. Yeah.
Some are about to be amputated. Exactly. So it's like the reason why that is because like all this like money that's supposed to be circulating in our economy is like stagnating with people who are just sitting on top of it, and it's not going anywhere. So there's less circulation. It's like think about all the blood in your body just going to like one area, and it's like, what, you're gonna die. Yeah, that's all it is. And some people like they need a blood transfusion. So that's basically what a UBI is. It's like a transfusion that's going to create. It's like just when a plane needs like a runway, they need some kind of momentum to go get off the ground. So when you deny that momentum, the thing's not going anywhere. Unless it's like a helicopter, but the thing's not going anywhere. So they don't. It's like they're not giving us this momentum to have these things circulate, and then they're blaming us. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine just like sitting on top of a person with your big fat ass and then blaming them for not getting up?
Right.
Sitting. It's like they have their ass on your back, and they've eaten too much like puffs or Cheetos,
strawberry cheesecake.
And they're like strawberry cheesecake. They're like, well, get up, and they're eating something that's making them fatter while they're sitting on your back. It's like, and then they blame you for not getting up.
Right.
it's like you stupid idiot. Like, do the laws of logic and common sense not penetrate somewhere in your thick, empty head? It's like, like we just make like a comedy about this because it's so egregious. It's so gross.
It's like it's like they're the ones on the couch, looking like Jabba the Hutt, and they're telling you to get off your ass.
yeah,
And you're like,
yeah. It's like, exactly. It's like, hang on, let me take a pee in this pool, and then blame the pool boy when it turns yellow. It's like, yeah, it's like, well, you like, yeah,
I give up.
Yeah, I give up. It's like, what do you want? What do you want, motherfucker? It's like, it's like you're driving down the highway, and then like your taxi just like crashes the car, and then like the cops come, and then the taxi driver's like, okay, he did it. It's like, but you were behind the wheel. Yeah, I know, but he did it. It's like, what? No. Like he uses magical powers to, like, it's like, who was behind the wheel when it crashed? It wasn't us.
It's just as ridiculous as that one like statement or whatever, teach a man how to fish. It's like, during these times, it's like, did you see like all the civil unrest happening?
So
we're heading to a Great Depression, and it's like,
okay. Like,
the house is on fire. Is the fish going to survive that?
Look at this. Look at this. If you went into the creek and you used it as your own personal bathroom, the fish are probably going to be dead and probably going to be unhealthy to eat.
Due to climate change, possibly.
Yeah, exactly. If you went to the pond and you kept pissing and shitting in the pond with your friends, and then you told someone to fish in that pond because it teach them how to do it, like the fish are dead. The fish are already dead, you idiots. It's like no. Like we need to go to a new pond, and how we create that new pond is with a UBI, because you already like kept shitting and pissing in this one, and like, no, like all the fish are like dead.
And what they do, they blame the guy for getting the wrong fish. It's like,
right, exactly.
I mean, right? And look what happens. Like, now, like, they can't feed their family. Now they're literally like,
right, exactly,
stealing at these stores that have like better quality fish because they can't fucking pay for it.
It's like hang on. It's like, okay. So well, like, I know that I kept shitting and pissing in that pond, but that gives them no excuse not to, like, like, go fishing there. It's
right.
Like, why wouldn't you want to go to a pond that I kept shitting and pissing in? It's like, yeah, like, I wonder why not. And like dumping your, like, no, the Koch brothers, basically, they're like super free market capitalism. They just like kept dumping all their toxic shit in like some creek or some like river, and then everybody who lived at the end of that river like got cancer. I'm not kidding you. It like happened in some town in like the South, and they gave everybody cancer, and they're probably not even gonna pay for their treatment.
It was due to like that toxic waste. Like it will make these weird, genetic, mutations and stuff, and like you get, if you don't get cancer, the those living in the creek or the river will, like, especially the fish. Like why do you think like they have like these big ass like oversized crabs and lobsters? It's like, come on.
Like, it reminds me of that Simpson episode with that like three-eyed fish that was like, yeah, I know, but it's like, look, like, they've been shitting and pissing in this creek before we even existed, like before we were born,
and we've been shitting and pissing in that creek for years.
Right, exactly, and it's like, okay, I think it's time, we got a different creek, or we at least like made a different one.
At least we should like get a siphon or whatever and like filter it off.
Right, exactly. And that filter is UBI.
There you go, right.
That filter is like Andrew Yang's ideas.
UBI getting paid for data, human-centered capitalism.
Right. Because things have changed, man. And it's like you can't keep living in the fucking past. Like I look outside my window, and I don't see anybody with a horse and a buggy anymore. I mean, there
Right.
used to be, but it's like, do you? And
We
it's
got
like, no,
trains now.
we got trains now, and then it's like, no, let's teach them,
and
how to be coders and shit.
and we don't have conductors. We have we have like those voiceover like announcing
Yeah,
the stops. Like with our train over here, like the CTA and Metra. We now we have some guy who pre-recorded the stops or whatever announcing over the intercom. Rather
right,
than having like a
right.
conductor announcing
So
the
no,
stops or someone.
but then
Just,
here's the thing that really pisses me off when they say like everybody should code. So you want a nation of like 300 million coders? Like, are you fucking stupid?
that's the
Like,
same as teaching man how to fish. That's the same
right,
bullshit.
right,
Now
right.
it's
And some
teaching
of
me how
these
to code.
some of these like some of these coders like program themselves out of their own jobs because
Yeah.
they put there's an auto script that works each time, and then like they create that auto script, and then like they don't have any work anymore because all the work is done anyway. It's like, what the hell?
Right.
Like they're like people are literally automating themselves out of a job, and we're coming up with all this bullshit of like dignity of work and all this other crap that these people want to pull out of their ass and call it like chocolate. It's not gonna work. It's like, welcome to reality, you stupid son of a bitch. You could have joined us earlier.
The truth isn't meant to be pleasant. Facts don't care about your feelings, remember?
Right, exactly. Facts don't care about their feelings, but it's like, look, like that law only applies to us, but not to them. It's like they can live in their alternate reality and they can live a lie, until reality smacks them in the face and they finally gotta wake up.
And there have
It,
been, and as far as like that statement, teaching men how to fish, there are two people that I heard it from. Our mayor, Lori Lightfoot, that is literally, you know, tearing our city to the ground, not really helping
right,
solving these issues. And then this lady with an elderly mother, whatever, and she's not living in an upscale
right.
neighborhood. She's not living in the best home, and I'm sitting there like, well, if you think giving people money like UBI or whatever is a bad thing, well then maybe you should just get welfare.
Uh,
Let's see how your
yeah,
grandma will
exactly.
pan out for that.
That's why I like calling her lightweight.
Right.
Because it's like this person is like a total lightweight.
Oh, if I said that to her like on that Zoom meeting, like she'll probably just get all mad and like have me removed. Say I'm
Well,
say I'm a
I mean,
bully.
it's easy to get mad. It like doesn't require that much intelligence to just get angry at someone for disagreeing with you.
Yeah, getting angry is
I,
easy.
I
It's
mean,
like,
exactly. It's like, okay, have you ever looked up like the facts and the data? Have you ever like opened the damn like fucking PowerPoint
right.
once in your life instead of like just getting mad at someone?
I mean,
You know,
forget
you
the
know,
data. Forget the data for a moment, Ariel. Just look around you.
just look
Look at your
around you. Yeah,
community. It's like,
exactly. It's like they're actively denying reality and getting mad at at people who want to be realistic. It's never gonna work. It's never gonna work.
you're gonna
And,
lose
and
in the
you're
long
gonna
run.
lose
In the
either
long
way.
run,
But
yeah.
like, don't drag like innocent people into your fucking delusions. And that's what a lot of multi-level marketing people do. It's like you want to live in your toxic waste dump, go right ahead, but don't drag me into it, motherfucker.
Right. It's like
You know,
I'm not at fault for like your own shortcomings. That's all on you. You need to what you should do? You need to be a grown up and take responsibility.
right? Exactly. And they don't
Take your
want
own
to.
advice, right?
It's like, look, like we've said, like we've looked at the data, we've looked at the facts, we've looked at the statistics, and this is what we've come to be the answer. And it's like, oh, but I'm too stupid, I don't want that to be the answer. Well, it's not up to you. And it's like, well, that's why, like, you see all these like science fiction movies, and the shit always hits the fan when people don't listen to the data scientists and the researchers and all this sort of stuff. There's always some stupid fucking idiot who has a big mouth and who has a lot of money, who doesn't listen to the people who have the brain power.
I miss when those
Everyone ends up suffering.
I miss when those movies were just science fiction movies. They were like
Right, yeah, they weren't like real.
so right. It's like especially like the Truman Show. I'm sitting there going like, hey, it's like I wish it was just a movie with Jim Carrey with the Matrix. Just have like Keanu Reeves and Lawrence Fishburne, and not like hit so close to home.
Like,
we can't like fly or whatever, but it's
yeah. We get all the shit parts, but we don't get all the fun parts, and I always hate that. It's like well, I mean, look, San Francisco looks like the Blade Runner movie right now.
Oof.
It's like that orange glow in the Blade. That's San Francisco. Like it looks like that, and it's like okay.
Yeah, no need for a filter, right? No.
It's like we understand that this doesn't just happen. People are idiots. People make bad things happen. You know what? Why is it like that? Because some moron thought it was a good idea to have like a gender reveal device to like reveal the gender of their little baby that they had, and then like half of the state is on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like and going by like us being content creators and YouTubers, like we're like I'm not sure how many followers you have, but like I don't have many, and but I know like there are videos where you see like it really has there are videos where there has none. It's like like a cat flushing the toilet or something like entertaining or whatever, or even like the Popeye fighting or whatever. But when it comes to like when we're talking about the future,
real stuff, exactly, they don't.
Yeah.
It's like well here's the thing that pisses me off is that stupid like YouTube is always,
the algorithm.
Yeah, not even the algorithm, just the goalposts for like being monetized and to get back to the algorithm.
Yeah.
It used to be like you needed like 1,000 subscribers and like 40,000 lifetime views for your channel to be monetizable. So I hit my 1,000 and that was a great day. I went like a little over, and then I had the 40,000 views, and now they added like a watch time requirement for you to be monetizable. You have to have this many hours of watch time. And it's like, you stupid asshole.
Too many restrictions.
Stop moving but moving of goalposts. It's like you're in the middle of the game, and then they say like, okay, if you do this, you win. And then you're like, okay, I did it. And they're like, no, we just changed the rules in the middle of the game. You can't fucking change the rules in the middle of the game, you goddamn asshole. It's like it used to be, it's like you needed like at least a high school diploma to have some like decent job that would allow you to live a middle class life. Right. And they're like, oh no, we changed it. Now you need like a college degree. And it's like, okay, now you need a BA. Now you need a master's degree. Now you need a PhD. Now, like, stop. Excuse me, asshole. Like, stop changing the rules of the game in the middle of the goddamn game, okay? And they don't care.
It's like when they changed like I'm not sure if you've been on Facebook lately, but this like they changed like when they changed the interface of Facebook. Yeah, and it's like what the fuck is this?
It's like, where the hell? Exactly. Where the hell did it? It's like I never wanted this. I never asked for this.
But they did it anyways, and then
but then they're so fucking annoying. It's like, no, but you're gonna love it. It's like, go to hell. It's like, no, I'm not. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like on the phone apps, they're always looking for updates. Like my phone is like telling me, oh, you gotta update your phone again. It's like, for what? And then Chase Bank, it's like, oh, we got a new update for you, and then they're like, okay, you have to update, or can't use the app. I'm like, fuck you. I'm like, I don't want to update.
It's like, where the hell is the update? Where the hell is like the UBI update? I've been waiting for that update for like forever. It's like that's the update I actually want, motherfucker. It's like,
why can't you update Congress? Like, update our economy or whatever, rather than update freaking asses. Like, I thought you had the money.
Oh my god. Yeah, I know.
Oh, don't get me started, man.
It's like we can't give you like something that's actually like good and something that'll actually help you, but we have all this other shit that you don't want, you don't need, and we're like so happy to like offer it to you. It's like
It's fucking
like,
embarrassing.
fuck you. And here's the really stupid part of it. Okay, the reason why I lost my job as a seasonal worker was because they said that like we don't have enough people coming in and spending money, so we can't let you keep your job. So then what would fix that? A UBI. These people are so stupid.
Yes, it's
They're
economics.
so,
It's economics 101.
right, exactly. Yeah, these people. It's like they need to like a brain surgeon. They need a lobotomy because it's like they're shooting themselves in the foot and asking why they're feeling pain.
They lost their foot by now.
Yeah, they probably lost their foot by
They
now.
lost their foot.
They're like
They shot it.
like,
They shot in there too many times.
yeah, they're probably like they're just like limping along. And I swear, like that's what's happening with our country. Our country is like limping along, like it's collapsing underneath the weight of its own stupidity and incompetence.
Right.
This is what we're seeing. This is what happens when you have idiots in charge who are just narcissists, selfish, stupid people. They have no idea what they're doing or where they're coming from or how they're doing it. And they're like, what is their excuse? This is like the dumbest thing, the dumbest reason in the whole entire world. It's like, that's the way that it happened before, so this is the way that we're doing it now. It's like, congratulations for saying that. You're a fucking idiot. It's like,
yeah. I mean, I'm betting that's what Andrew Yang told the people down in DC when he went down there. When they're like, well, we give these people.
What do? The laziest response in history.
The laziest.
Shrugging your shoulders. Shrugging your goddamn shoulders. It's
Giving
like,
off multiple choice answers. It's like
you know, like what, like a hurricane is coming, a flood is coming. What should we do? Sit on our ass? It's like, yeah, no, like, yeah, great idea, you idiot. Yeah, and then they wonder. It's like, hey, like, smoking is gonna give you lung cancer. Like, oh, okay, I should probably keep doing it.
Like automation is like the hurricane. Automation is like the hurricane of technology. And I mean, you know, it's like that's what Andrew Yang did. He came in like warned them like, hey, we got this. We're heading to like the fourth industrial revolution.
Stupidity and technology don't mix.
We're still in poverty.
If you have this much stupidity with our so-called leaders who are as worthless as a sack of rocks, and you have like all of this technology just constantly updating and changing, it's a mismatch. And it's like the trash has been not taken out. I remember like there used to be like this like story I'd have read to me when I was younger in like school, and it's like, I will not take the garbage out, and then like
Dr. Seuss.
I will not take the. Let me see. Was it Dr. Seuss?
It sounds like Dr. Seuss. Like, I will not, cannot take out the garbage.
Yeah, I will not take the like it was a book about like a little girl that was really, really stubborn and didn't want to take the garbage out until like there were just like mountains and mountains of like garbage like piled up. It was like
I might have read that. I don't remember, but I might have. That sounds familiar.
So it was like a garbage Mount Everest that was like created because this like she just didn't want to take it out. So it just was piling up and piling up. So it's like we have not taken our political garbage out until like the 1970s at least, and it's just been piling up. And
it's like a junkyard as big as a state right now.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a junkyard as big as a country with like incompetent, fucking selfish, narcissistic, corrupt scumbuckets that breed with each other and mutate. And like it's like this disgusting like mutated radioactive garbage that's like been growing and growing that like nobody wants to like do anything about. So it just keeps compounding.
Well, here's the thing I do want to mention. Like, I don't mind if older folks are running things. The problem is that they don't have any sort of humility or think like, oh, they have all the answers. They're not willing to listen to our perspective and the experts. People like Andrew Yang and Scott Sands and various others. It's like they're like y'all like y'all know what y'all talking about. When I was your age, and then they're like I know what I'm doing. I don't need your. It's like they're just telling us stuff, and I'm sitting there going like, well, it's your funeral. It's like,
Right.
but like but right now you gotta build to in the coming days, coming weeks, and there's also a hurricane coming, and you got civil unrest, and you got poverty, and you got all these other things. So you better find up a solution quick.
No, and then they're like, oh yeah, I have the best idea. Like all this shit's happening.
What is it?
I'm gonna go take a vacation.
That's just like that's
yeah, like a perfect time to take a vacation. Like no. It's like just imagine like how fucking stupid you'd be if there's like a fire in your kitchen and it's like really, really tiny, and then you're like, I know how to put out this fire. I'll go to the Bahamas. And then like you come back from the Bahamas and your house is just like burnt to the ground.
Man, I wish I could. I mean, I know it's funny. I wish I could easily laugh, but at the same time, it's just so disturbing because these people are running the thing. It's
right,
like
exactly.
It's like if it was like an episode of Saturday Night Live, then sure, it's like, but
right,
man, it's our lives, man.
Yeah, it's our lives. It's our lives in the
man.
hands of these shitbags. And the thing is like in no other world would this kind of like incompetence and corruption and just bullshit be allowed, except like politics has become like professional sports and everybody's just wearing a stupid jersey and nobody's using their actual brain.
They're not using their top head. Yeah.
Right, exactly. It's all about like, oh, how can I just put on a show? It's all about putting a show. It's not about solving the problems. And like the only way I can get over this is to just laugh about how stupid it is. But I mean, I do get frustrated. But it's like it makes for great comedy. But like great comedy isn't going to like get someone out of poverty. I mean,
yeah, but then you got people on Twitter saying to Nancy like, "Yes, Queen." I'm like, she's not even.
What?
Yeah, saying like like talking about like how she's working like these new pink heels and handkerchief. Whatever. I'm sitting there going like, she's not even passing the stimulus checks, and or Mitch or any of them. It's like so, we like, and you want to talk about her freaking. Her freaking clothes and like how how she sticks it to Trump. It's like the house is still on fire.
Right, exactly. Like okay. Like if the house is on fire, and you got like two stupid idiots who own the house, they're like a wife and a husband, and they're arguing about the fire. And the fire's just getting bigger. And they're arguing about the fire, and they're like, oh, like, we're so tired of arguing about this fire. Like, what do you say we go on a vacation?
It's like that one meme. It's like that one meme where they had that dog.
The dog.
In the middle of the fire, they're like, this is fine.
No. Except like he's saying this is fine. And then the dog says, like, oh no, it's not fine. I need to put it out. But I'll go on a vacation first.
Right. Yeah, pretty much. Like, that's even worse.
Right, exactly. It's even worse. It's just like, here's reality. And these motherfuckers are like in like stupid land. It's like reality. They don't live in reality. They live in the land of assholes.
I bet there was a Simpson episode about this as well.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's like they foresee everything with these episodes. It's like.
Well, I mean, if they want to go on a vacation, like I'd be happy to send them on a permanent vacation to the sun. Great vacation spot. Just
one-way ticket.
Sunscreen. Exactly. A one-way ticket to the sun would be a perfect vacation for these stupid motherfuckers.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. A perfect vacation. We don't have to deal with your shit anymore. Just get lost, never come back. I don't want to see your old, stupid, stubborn, wrinkled up faces in this country ever again. You're a complete failure. Get the hell out of here. And yeah, don't let the door hit you on the way out. Or
Put
do
all
let the
those
door hit
farts in
you
the
on the way
sun. They like give
Right,
us
exactly. That's perfect vacation for these dumbasses.
perfect.
They'll get so it's
You
the
get your
perfect summer.
tan. You get
Yeah, your tan, perfect summer vacation. Just like will I create pamphlets about like our sun vacation to these morons, and they're like, oh wow, this is perfect for summer. I'll burn to you burn to death. Go ahead. It's like yeah.
yeah.
It's like I saw the thing. It was called the like Sylvia Stout will not take the garbage out, and yeah, that's the thing. And it's like because I mean taking out the garbage isn't fun, but like somebody's got to do it, you know.
Somebody,
And
yeah.
and Andrew Yang was the one. He's like, I'm gonna take the garbage out. Like we have trash as leadership, but then it's like then you find that person who wants to take the garbage out, but then you find the people who've been swimming in the garbage and basically like living off of the garbage who are like, no, like this garbage is our home. We live in all the shit and the piss and the trash, and you better not like, mess up our habitat. And that was like the media and the regular DC politicians and like this who've just been living off of the they treated the garbage like their own personal bathtub.
That's why the French are like so organized, because they're the ones automatically taking out the garbage or whatever, and they're literally like helping the blood circulate at the same time while taking out all the garbage in this big landmine. They barely even have one. That's why like when
Right.
it comes to unemployment, we have 20%, whereas they have like 3 to 4%.
Right,
So
exactly.
and
But the
like
real
Andrew Yang is the closest to the French.
well,
Not that close, but yeah.
well, the real unemployment needs to happen with the people we have in charge of the country.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They need to be unemployed permanently, and like there needs to be just like I'm surprised that these morons won't like once they finally get out where they don't deserve to be there, and then like we can put like warning labels across their foreheads, because it's like they're a hazard. That's what they are. Like we get real like the GOP and all these establishment morons, and then once they leave, we put a warning label. It's like, warning: do not let in political office unless you want your country destroyed.
Right.
Like, right across their head. Like it says that. Just like stamp a fucking warning label on
Like
top of their forehead.
tattooed.
Yeah, like a
Oh.
tattoo. That's like a warning sign. That like like when you read the label on the back of your cereal and it like lists all the ingredients, it can like list all the bullshit that they've done on their foreheads all the years that they were in politics, with like a nice little warning label like did not pass stimulus, only argues, doesn't know how to compromise, keep away from office.
Well, they might have to put all those mistakes on their bodies. They don't
On
have
their
enough room
body
on their
somewhere.
forehead.
They don't have
Unless you're
enough room
Mitch
on their
or
head.
or
And
Schumer.
oh yeah, like Mitch just has like a whole bunch of wrinkles. For like each wrinkle that this like hell tortoise has, we can just
Right.
like put another like he'll have enough wrinkles that we can write all the shit he's done for years and years and years. It's like the thing.
It's disgusting.
The only thing that'll make someone like Mitch McConnell useful is we like ripped all the wrinkles off his face and reconstituted it as silly putty so little kids can play with it. Although maybe you don't want to be playing with that stuff because it's toxic,
It's too floppy and all the wrinkles.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Ew. But we're actually like out of time. But like you mind telling everyone like your Twitter handle, like, or any, or like tell them like how to find you on YouTube and stuff, your content.
Yeah, sure. So my YouTube is youtube.com/revolutionary thinking. So it's said the way it's spelled. It's RevolutionaryThinking. And I love doing drone photos. I love aviation. So you can find me at Instagram and on Twitter as Ariel's. So that's ArielsAerials.
Right. And also, like, hey, if you yourself, ever want to come onto the show, onto my show, and you have anything to share, whether it's a thought, an idea, anything, definitely hit me up on Twitter at Izzy Bolden. That's IzzyBolden, and I'll definitely step me with you, and we'll have a great discussion like this one. But until then, I'll see you all next time on the next episode of IzzyLand Uncut.